Hey, Texas Study students. This is Coach Science, welcoming you back to another one of our video lessons. Today's lesson is on Chapter 6 and the Spanish settlement in Texas. Make sure that as we go along through the video, guys, that you're filling in the blanks on the page that was given to you in class. We're going to start off today's lessons by discussing what the purpose of the missions were. Now, missions were Spain's way of colonizing the New World and displaying its power. Now, if you guys remember from the previous video lesson, the country of France, right, France, was the main competition with Spain of Texas. So, with Spain deciding to say, hey, let's colonize the New World, let's colonize Texas, it started to display the power that they had since France lost out the opportunity to colonize Texas. Now, the other purpose of the missions was to convert natives to Catholicism, to bring the native people of Texas into also known as Christianity. Here in this picture, we see the friar there blessing the native people, as we can see them around here, as others watch and see, as the native people are starting to convert into Catholicism/Christianity. In the year 1682, the Spanish established the first Texas mission called Corpus Christi de la Isleta, and it was located near El Paso. Now, here we see a picture of it as it still stands to this very day. Here in this map, you're able to see where El Paso is located on the map of Texas, and Corpus Christi de la Isleta was just south, right there, of El Paso. Now we're going to discuss a very important man in the Spanish colonization and the spread of Spanish missions in Texas. Now, this individual's name is Fray Damian Massonetti. Now, Mr. Massonetti convinced the viceroy. Now, do you guys remember what a viceroy was? Well, if you don't, the viceroy was the governor, right, or also the babysitter of New Spain. And he convinced them to allow him to convert the Caddo natives to Catholicism and to colonize East Texas. Here in this picture, we can see Fray Damian Massonetti talking to the Caddo and speaking with them. Now, the reason why he wanted to talk to the Caddo was because when they had met with them before, not necessarily Fray Damian Massonetti, but when the Spanish friars had met with them before, they were very friendly. And what was the word that Caddo gave the people that came from Spain? You guys remember it? Starts with a T. That's right, Tejas, which means friends. That's exactly why Fray Damian Massonetti wanted to go out there to East Texas. He wanted to make friends of these nice tribes. Now, with the viceroy's permission, in 1690, Damian Massonetti established the first mission in East Texas called San Francisco de los Tejas. Here in this map, we can see what Spain essentially ruled over here in the New World. Here all the way west into what is the present-day United States, and all the way south into what is present-day South America, right? They even owned some of this part of it in that day. Now, Texas, as you can see here, was the farthest east of all the land that Mexico had owned and was discovering at that time, right? Now, if you remember, right here, down in the center of Mexico was the capital of New Spain, I should say. The capital was called New Spain, right? That is where Hernán Cortés had taken over the Aztec Empire and captured Moctezuma, killed him, and took over the ruins of Tenochtitlan and made the new capital there. Now, one of the biggest concerns with Spain was trying to take supplies all the way to the different places out here in East Texas, right? So Spain began looking for a midpoint for supplies traveling from central Mexico all the way to East Texas. So from down here, Mexico City, or what used to be Tenochtitlan, all the way into East Texas and all the way to this part of the outside of Mexico's territory. Then a priest named Antonio Buenaventura, Father, I should say, Antonio Buenaventura, suggested that Spain build a post near the San Antonio River, as we can see here in this map right there in central Texas. Here in this map, you'll be able to see exactly some of the roads that were taken in the 17th and 18th century of trade. Now, right there is the San Antonio River, and in central Texas, that's exactly where they wanted to make the midpoint, right in there. Okay, so they could get supplies out here, right? But what happened was that they wanted to build a midpoint here. Now, central Mexico is way down there, right? It's not able to see it, but they wanted to build a central point down here to get supplies all the way out to the eastern post, or the eastern colonies, or the eastern cities that were going to be out there, and the eastern missions, presidios, that were out there, so they could have supplies. Now, in the year 1718, Mission San Antonio de Valero was established along the San Antonio River. As you can see here, a picture of it, right? This later became known as the Alamo. Now here in this picture, guys, you can see the picture of what we come to not really know as the Alamo, right? We actually know it with the dome shape. But this is how it actually was. It was not it was never finished, guys, never completed. We know it as the one we see now in San Antonio. It's all pretty, grass everywhere. No, this is how it originally was left, without anything, no roof over the top. Now across the river was built Presidio San Antonio de Bejar. Now this was built completely right across the river from San Antonio de Valero, Mission San Antonio de Valero. The San Antonio de Bejar was the presidio that was established to protect the mission. Now, Spain also wanted to expand places south of the San Antonio River, right? And now these expeditions, right, and this expansion was led by a man named José de Escandón, as you can see here in this picture. Now, Mr. Escandón established 15 missions, that's right, 15, between the Rio Grande River and the Nueces River. Here in this map, we can see how he established so many areas here, over 20 communities right here, boom, from the Nueces River all the way down to here where we're at, Tamaulipas, which is close to us, right there, and the Rio Grande River. Now, by the year 1755, he had placed over 6,000 people in 20 South Texas towns. That's right, over 6,000 people. That's why he's considered to be father of South Texas. Here in this map, you can see how many Spanish missions were established in Texas between the years 1659 and 1795. Spanish missions are down here, the legend, they're marked in brown, right? Now, how many are there along the Rio Grande River? Let's go ahead and count them out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was 7 Spanish missions built along the Rio Grande River. Now, Spanish missions in Texas were built near bodies of water, such as rivers, as you can see in this picture, right? Very few of them were actually built on their own or off in a secluded area. They would be built near bodies of water so that they could be provided with drinking water, irrigation for crops, and other uses to make sure that they sustain life. Now here in this picture I'm showing you now, you see a picture of a Spanish mission and how it was set up, right? They had the interior of the mission where the friars and everybody else would do daily life, chores, things like that. And you can see the river back here in the back and how they would build an irrigation ditch to be able to give water to the natives, as well as provide water for the crops that they grew and the animals that they had, as well as drinking water for themselves. This wraps up our Chapter 6 Spanish Settlement in Texas video lesson. This is Coach Science, signing out.